The Canon XL2 represents a total breakthrough for the digital motion photographer. If your projects demand world-class picture quality, extremely high-end image control, total flexibility, and a powerful feature set unmatched by any other camcorder on the planet, the XL2 is absolutely your best choice. The original XL1 was released in 1997 and had huge success among digital filmmakers, broadcast producers, and video creators in corporate, education, and nonprofit areas. In 2001, the XL1S brought several new features to the XL1. The XL2 is not an updated XL1S. The only things that remain unchanged from the XL1S are the mic, the batteries and charger, and the lens mount. Everything else is brand new. The XL2 combines genuine Canon optics with an interchangeable lens system, true widescreen progressive scan chips, multiple frame rate capture, and legendary Canon image processing quality. Never before has so much creative power been put in the hands of the desktop movie maker for corporate, education, events, broadcast, or digital filmmaking. The footage you see on this DVD was all shot with the XL2 and edited in native DV format with no color correction, filters, or post-production processing of any kind except where specifically noted. The XL2 introduces a new lens to the XL series, Canon's 20x Professional L Series fluorite lens. Canon is known worldwide for its high-quality optics, manufacturing many lenses for film, broadcast, and still photography. The new 20x lens is an amazing feat of engineering, quality, and features, so we're going to spend a little time exploring it. This lens comes standard on the XL2 and is the equivalent in 35mm format of a 42.3 to 846mm lens when the camera is recording in 16:9 widescreen format. In the 4:3 aspect ratio, it's the equivalent in 35mm format of a 51.8 to 1036mm lens. The 20x optical zoom range gives you the power to get shots you could never get with a 10 or 12x zoom lens. With 20x zoom, you can shoot a distant scene or blow up the background for dramatic effect. You can also use the zoom to intensify a shallow depth of field effect by enlarging an out-of-focus background. The new 20x lens was engineered to provide a shallower depth of field to allow digital filmmakers to achieve cinematic looks by keeping the subject in focus and the background and foreground out of focus. You can switch zoom to variable, so the zoom speed depends on how far the zoom rocker is pressed, or to constant, where you can set the zoom speed to one of 16 speeds, from very fast to an ultra-slow creep zoom that works well for interviews or any shot where you want an almost imperceptible zoom in. The lens uses fluorite to minimize chromatic aberration evident in conventional lenses and provide the ultimate in clarity and image quality. Here's a simulation of chromatic aberration, seen as a thin red or blue fringe around areas of high contrast. The Canon 20x lens shows no fringing, even on a very high contrast transition from light to dark. Canon's superb optical stabilization system corrects small camera movements instantly, so even handheld shots at telephoto focal lengths are smooth and steady. And since it is optical, unlike electronic image stabilizers, there's no loss of image quality. Canon's Super Range Optical Image Stabilization uses a gyro sensor to detect camcorder vibration, then controls two vari-angle prisms that continuously correct the path of the incoming light. In addition, Super Range OIS examines the image from the CCDs to detect low-frequency vibrations missed by the gyro and also uses that data to refine the movement of the prism. This greatly improves performance for a low-frequency vibration, resulting in the most advanced optical image stabilization available today. This lens has a maximum aperture of f1.6, variable to f3.4 at full telephoto, which aids in capturing quality video in low-light conditions and also gives you more flexibility to set up for a shallow depth of field. There are two neutral density filters on the lens to bring down exposure either 3 or 6 stops when shooting in bright conditions or when wanting to keep the iris open for a shallower depth of field. The lens can be switched from auto to manual focus. The focus ring and the zoom ring are independent controls on the 20x lens. They're servo controlled and the speed can be changed by the speed of the rotation of the ring. When in autofocus, moving the manual ring will override the autofocus. When in manual focus mode, You can temporarily engage autofocus by pressing the Set button on the lens. There's also a zoom control on the hand grip that can be set to low, medium, high, or variable speeds, and one on the top handle that comes in handy when shooting low to the ground. You can set an ending zoom point, then change the zoom and return to that framing at a programmable speed by pressing the On button. Even cooler, the innovative Focus Preset feature allows you to set an ending focus point, then change the focus to a starting position and trigger the focus pull with the push of a button. This makes it easy to do racking focus moves to draw the viewer's attention, or follow focus set to a slow speed to keep a moving subject in focus. A key feature of the Canon XL series camcorders, and the only mini DV camcorders with this feature, is the XL mount interchangeable lens system. The reason more independent films have been shot with the XL series than any other digital camcorder is that a professional DP would never invest in a fixed lens camcorder. Even if you start with just the standard 20x lens, which is versatile enough for almost any situation, you know you have the option to change lenses in the future. In the Canon XL system, there are currently 4 lenses: the new 20x, the 16x, 16x manual, and 3x wide. The Canon 3x wide-angle lens provides dramatic wide-angle shots unobtainable from a lens adapter. With the 16x manual, you have the same kind of direct control of the glass you have with a film camera, with focus markings right on the barrel. Or, using an XL system adapter, the entire range of Canon photographic lenses are available, as well as third-party lenses. The XL2 has 3 widescreen progressive scan CCDs. When shooting in 16:9 mode, you're using more of the CCD surface than in 4:3 mode, so you're actually gaining resolution rather than losing it like most other digital camcorders. The 4:3 mode uses 350,000 pixels on each chip, and the 16:9 mode uses 460,000 pixels for an amazingly sharp, crystal clear picture. The XL2 incorporates Canon's pixel shift technology, which provides for better low-light performance and better overall color reproduction. Now let's look inside the XL2 at the most advanced imaging feature set available on any camcorder on the market. Video has certain characteristics that identify it as video, from frame rate to gamma curve to contrast properties. Likewise, projects shot on 35mm film have certain characteristics that identify it as film. As we go through the XL2, you'll see many features that are adjustable or switchable between video and film-like settings. The XL2 goes further than any other camcorder in bringing you a big-time Hollywood cinematic look when you want it that truly bridges the gap between video and film. And because Canon utilizes a 12-bit digital signal processor, maximum image quality is preserved. 60i, meaning 60 fields per second interlaced, is the normal video frame rate that's been in use for decades. It's a standard for broadcast television, so almost everything you see on TV that wasn't shot on film was shot and displayed in 60i. 60i captures motion 60 times each second, so use 60i when you want the typical, smooth, fluid look of video. But when you want to shoot something artistic and film-like, you'll want the cinematic effect of a slower frame rate. The XL2 provides 3 other options. The 24p standard mode allows you to shoot 24 frame per second video identical to a motion picture film camera. Just as important as 24p is the shutter speed of 1/48 of a second. This is the standard shutter speed that motion film cameras use, and gives you the same motion blur characteristics as film footage. And through an internal 2-3 pull-down process, these frames are transferred to normal 29.97 NTSC video, just like a project was shot on film, then transferred to video for editing at 29.97, just like any other video footage. Your editing system will never know the difference, since the signal is 100% NTSC compatible. If you're shooting a project specifically to blow up to film and project in theaters, the XL2 also has an advanced 24p mode with a 2-3-3-2 cadence. Many popular editing systems are smart enough to discard the extra frames from footage shot in this mode, so you can edit at a true 24 frames per second, just like the footage was shot on film. If you're not going to film, you might find 24p is a little too stroby and staccato to do some camera moves, like a medium pan. In this case, the XL2 has a true progressive scan 30 frame per second mode that's a little smoother than 24, but still retains the cool cinematic look. Shooting in progressive scan offers many benefits. If you'll be putting the video on the web, 24 or 30p will provide better quality since every other field doesn't have to be blended or thrown away. And you can also pull clear still frames from your footage without interlacing artifacts. But most importantly, whether you're shooting marketing or educational videos, broadcast commercials or shows, or feature films, shooting in 24p or 30p provides a high-budget cinematic look